Debbie from the Wildly Whimsical Crafting Loft. Today I'm going to show you how to make this whimsical picture frame. It can be used for a layout page, or you can set it up on a little stand. It's totally up to you, and those little windows in the front, they open up and house those pictures. So let me show you how that's done. The first thing I'm going to do is I did not glue all these little die cuts on there because I want to show you the framework, the gear work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the very beginning. The first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cut a triangle, the size of the frame that you want. I'm using an oversized frame to kind of show you how to do this, but you can make your frame any size you want. And then I added this cute little fluff on the bottom. I thought it added a whimsical touch to that, so I just add that fluff on the bottom. And so if you're going to add anything to the bottom of your triangle, now is the time to do that. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to need to cut yourself a square piece of paper that's going to be the bottom part of your house. So I'm doing a Halloween house, but you can actually make your house any kind of house that you want. You need to decide what size you want the picture frame. So, like I said, today I'm doing an oversized one, but you can make yours any size you like. The next thing that you're going to need, to have is you're going to need to cut yourself 4 of the back pieces that's going to go on your frame. This is the back piece, and this is the front piece. So you're going to want a place that you can, decide how big a picture you're going to put in there as well. So anyway, you're going to need 4 of these, 2 this size and 2 this size, one just slightly smaller than the other. Then the next thing that you're going to need to cut is you're going to need to cut something that you're going to put your photographs on, some kind of background paper that you like, and you're going to need 2 of those. Then you're also going to need to cut yourself 2 of these little black tabs, because those are going to be the tabs that's going to activate your window to be able to get them to open and close. So you're going to need 2 of those. So let's get started making this window here. Okay, the first thing that you want to do, as you can see, this window right here is going to open and close because of the gear work that's in it. Let's remove that background. You can see that. And so let me show you how to do that gear work in here. Hang on a second. Let me get this going. You're going to need your bottom piece, and you're going to take this tab and you're going to put it right underneath it. I can pick that up. And you're going to glue it right on the back of this, like this. You're going to glue that on there. And then you're going to take the frame. Remember I told you we're going to be making a frame for the window. You're going to cut 2 white sheets to go around the frame. So your framing should look like this. It has the frame here with the white in there. You're going to glue that white right on here like this. Now, you may not want that tab on yours as long as this one is, but this is kind of just to show you how that works, which is going to cause that window to open and close. It's going to activate it where you can open and close it. Let me show you one that I've already made, how easy it is to get it to work. And it just opens and closes just that easy. So that you're going to want to do that. And then you're going to want to make the frame out of the black as well, or whatever color you want on the front. And I made my frame not square because it was a Halloween effect, so I wanted to have that Halloween look to it, so I made it not so square. And then this is the paper that I chose to use for my background for my picture to set on. And so now that you've got your frame that's going to open and close, you want to go ahead and you want to mount that to the very front of your house. Let me turn this around so you can get a good idea. And another thing I did was I made my frames on the front crooked. I glued them on that tab crooked because a haunted house doesn't always have straight lines, I don't think. So I made mine a little bit crooked. So as you can see, it's going to open and close. But I made it look a little crooked. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to put that top piece of your house on there, just like this. And you're going to slide it down to wherever you want it. You can have your roof height, anything you want. So now that you've got that on, and I had stuck already a little cat on here just to, everybody needs a cat in the window. Especially at Halloween, a black one. So let me just show you what I did. And you can add these embellishments anywhere that you want, any way that you want. One thing I found out is when you are using any embellishments on the top of the roof, you want to have a straight line so to line it perfectly. And you're just going to glue that right there on that house, just like that. And then I made some flowers that I thought were kind of whimsical. And I just put a flower here at the top. And instead of a rhinestone or anything really cute, I stuck a spider in there. And then everybody knows a good haunted house has witch's brew. So what I did was I added a sticker here for the witch's brew. Just like that. And let's put this sticker here, and we'll put a couple over here just to kind of embellish it so you can kind of get an idea of how it is. And then the next thing I did was I added a flower to put it by the kitty. And so this is what it looks like when it's all done. And you can embellish it any way that you want. It doesn't have to be a haunted house. This is just the gear work and the basic shapes and construction to putting one of these kind of houses together. You can make them whimsical in many other ways besides a haunted house. But let me show you how the top of this opens up. And it looks adorable when it's all open. Now, of course, you'll have all the embellishments on there, but I'm taking mine off to show you how it opens. Once it opens, it's going to open up just like this. And I just thought that it was a whimsical idea. And like I said, you're just going to glue these right on the back, and they just sit right there to house your picture. But this is what it's actually going to look like when you get all done with it. And like I said, I'm just kind of got this together. And for time's sake, I'm not going to glue them in there. Let me stick that back in there so you can get an idea of how those look. But this is what it looks like when it's open. And I just thought that it was a whimsical idea for just about any kind of little project that you wanted to do. And the windows open and close, I thought that was a neat little trick. Well, I thank you so much for coming and visiting the Wildly Whimsical Crafting Loft. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Go out and be creative. Thank you so much for stopping by.